Happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope you are having an amazing day. Let me just pull this up to make sure that the sound is working and everything's good to go. Because it's the worst when you get on a live and then it's not working according to plan. So I want to make sure that it's good to go. Awesome. So, what's up, Tanya? Thanks for hopping on, and hope you're having an amazing week. So, man, I had a good long weekend, or not long. Long's the wrong word. What's up, Michael? How the heck are you, man? How's your wife doing? And how's everything? How's everything going? Hope you're doing well. I hope she's feeling confident in her story. I know that we had talked a little bit and she was a little bit nervous about being the center of attention, but I know that she would do so well. She did great with the one. If we just flesh it out and make the story even stronger, not making anything up, but just, using her awesomeness, it would be so cool. So tell her hey for me. I hope you're having an awesome day. And Tanya, it's great to have you here too. Josh, Michael, Scott, Tanya, you guys are on. So cool to have you on. So this weekend, it was funny. So if you missed my live on Saturday evening, I was talking about how I went and played basketball with some of my old buddies for the first time in a long time. It's been over a year. It's probably been closer to 2 years since I've played basketball for any extended period of time other than just shooting around for a few minutes, right? And it was super cool. So if you missed that, go watch and I'll hear some of my story about that. But because it had been so long and I'm so out of shape, I got the dad bod going on. I was so tired. I was so sore. I was seriously Sunday morning waking up, getting ready for church and everything. I was just hobbled around because I played basketball and then I also mowed the lawn and just did other stuff, and I was just so wiped out that Sunday we went to church and I just zonked out after we got home for a long time, and I'm still feeling it. My legs are still a little stiff and muscles are a little sore. So that's motivation for me to get my fat butt in shape. But anyway, it was a fun time to go and see my buddies again and to play some ball. And I talked about on Saturday in my live about mastery, when you reach the level of mastery of something, kind of the evidence of when you have reached that level, and the path that leads towards mastery and all things. So go and check it out. Huh? And but today I wanted to talk about something that is super... I get it. This is something that I hear from a lot of entrepreneurs when I'm talking to them about publishing and telling their stories for their business and all this kind of stuff. And that question and concern is, I don't have a big audience. Nobody's really watching. I don't have thousands of followers, that kind of stuff. Should I really be working on or sharing my story and stuff like that? So that is what we are going to talk about today. So with that said, let's jump in. Okay, I'm going to put your comment up there. So, life is so fun, and entrepreneurship is the most fun. A little story I want to share with you. Last night, I was going through and working on a funnel for this course that I'm launching. It's going to go live on July 1st. I talked a little bit about that on Friday in a live. I was building the order page and stuff like that, because I know some of you want to buy it already and don't want to have to wait. So I'm putting it together so that I can send it to you so you guys can get in and learn how to take your Facebook Lives to a whole new level if you've already been doing them, and if you're just starting out and being afraid, to just help you build the perfect foundation that will set you apart and do amazing stuff for your business, right? And our middle son Alec, he's 9 years old. I almost forgot how old my own kid was. He's 9 years old, and he was in here talking about, and I was doing like my little value stack picture, right, where it talks about all the things that are in it and how much they're worth. And you add that all together, and it was a big number. And he was like, "Is that how much this thing costs? How much people are going to pay you?" And I was like, "No, that's how much it's worth. That's the value of it. But I'm going to only charge people $997 for it." And we were sitting there talking, and he got excited about that. He was like, "Wow!" And I told him how I have a goal of selling 30, and this is totally transparency. I'm telling you exactly what I'm wanting to do here. For you guys, right? But he was, we were talking about if I sold 30, how much that adds up to, and all the people that I get to help with it, and all that stuff. And he was like, "Wow!" And it was funny. We like built up the numbers, and he was asking like how many I'd have to sell to make $1 million, and how many I'd have to sell to make $3 million, and that stuff. And we were working the numbers back, and I was just showing him how simple. For me to make $3 million a year selling one course for $997 a pop, I would only have to sell 8.5 of those every day for a whole year, and that would be $3.1 million. And it's just like, whoa, that's a totally doable thing, right? And it's just fun, like, to be able to sit with my kid and see him get excited about the things that I do. And then we talked about how, if he wants to be a doctor or a fireman or whatever he wants to be, he can be it. But he can also, if he doesn't want to be any of those things and he wants to be like his own boss or create his own thing and help people in his own way, that he can do that too. And that I would love to show him and teach him and stuff. It was just a cool moment last night, right? Now, I share that because so many of us, like, we don't share these little stories in relation to our business, right? Like that story didn't get me a whole bunch of clients yet, or that kind of stuff. Basically, the people who watched and saw it know that I have created this course and and what it costs, or that kind of thing, right? But the fact is that we need to be sharing our stories. Like the last 6 weeks, I've gone super deep on the dive into how to use our stories to sell our products, right? And how important it is and how it increases the value of what we sell. And it just makes things so much better, right? And sorry, I was just making sure my engagement things were being weird for a second. But it's just so imperative that we, as business owners, tell our stories and share our personal stories, the stories about our products, the stories about why we do the things we do, the stories of the clients and the people that we help, all of those things in order to sell more of our products and services. It works. Sometimes it's more of a less direct approach. Instead of me saying, "Hey, I'm doing this thing and it costs this much, here's the link, go and buy it." It's, me sharing stories about me going to the movies with my grandma, or, those kinds of things. And good things happen when we do that. Now, I get asked this question. I hear this objection a ton with people that are thinking about or toying around with the notion of telling their stories for their business, okay? Now, here is the thing. Here's the thing that I hear a lot of people say. Like, I don't have a big following. I don't have tons of followers or lots of people watching my live. I did a live and there was only 2 people on it. Should I waste my time on doing lives, or should I wait until I've built up an audience and then start going live? Right? And that is, it's a good question. It's a natural question to ask, especially as you're starting out. Because guess what? When you're starting out, you are self-conscious, aren't you? You are worried, you're stressed out in most cases. You're juggling everything from keeping your own accounting books, to payroll, to your marketing, to creating content, to building funnels or websites, to engaging on social media, to coaching or helping or delivering the products that you're selling or the services that you're selling. You're doing all this stuff. And so you have so much pulling on your plate that you see the return on you going live to a small audience. Like, well, nobody's watching, so nobody's going to buy anything. So why should I do it? Right? That is the thing that I hear so many entrepreneurs say. And guess what I'm going to tell you? Any guesses? Let's see in the comments if you can guess what I'm going to say or what my answer to that objection would be. Anyone? Any guesses? So, what's up, Val? What's up, Ruth? So, what I say to those people that are like, I don't have a big following, I don't have an audience, should I really do it? I absolutely say yes, 100%. You need to still be telling your stories. You need to be publishing. Now, when there are only 1 or 2 or 5, or like right now, there's only 8 people on the live, guess what? You need to do it. So this is the thing. When you are starting out, especially when you're getting in a habit of publishing, when you're starting out from completely scratch, from never doing it previously, it's gonna be awkward a little bit, right? You're gonna be like, where do I look? What do I do with my hands? Do I look at my screen? Do I look at the camera? When somebody hops on, do I always acknowledge them and say hi? Do I look at the comments and read them out loud? What do I do? Right? And you focus so much on that kind of stuff instead of focusing on getting better and using it as an opportunity, as a practice ground, as a playground, as a sandbox to build and try things out. Would you rather? So let's put it this way: if you were starting to publish, would you rather be awkward and make mistakes in front of 10 people or 1,000? Which would you feel more? Which would be more comfortable for you? Drop me a comment. Tell me if you would be more comfortable to make mistakes in front of 10 people or make mistakes in front of 1,000 people. I want to see what you guys have to say. I'm going to get a drink while you guys comment. And if you're not commenting, I'm going to come through there and bop you in the nose, right? No, I won't do that because I'm nice. I'm the friendly giant, okay? Okay. So, this is what I say. Or I would much rather make mistakes in front of a small group of people instead of thousands of people. Tanya says smaller group. Josh, probably 10, right? Exactly. It's easier to make mistakes in front of a small amount of people and to learn and figure things out than it is to do it in front of thousands or, larger groups, right? Now, why is that? Why would it be better to make mistakes in front of a small group than a large group? Obviously, there are fewer eyes looking, so that if you totally bomb it, yes, it could still go viral for all the wrong reasons, right? If the right person shared it to the right person. But the likelihood of people seeing it is lower, so there's less risk of feeling embarrassed. And the thing is, if you're totally embarrassed, and I don't do this, I like to keep it as a badge of honor. I had one of my lives a week or so ago that just bombed. Like nobody really engaged with it. It has still less than 100 views. It just was a disaster. It was a bad one, right? But I didn't delete it because I like to keep it as a badge of honor and to see how far I've come and to remind me that even though I've done hundreds of these Facebook Lives now and I've been publishing and doing stuff and I've been on podcasts and on stage and all that stuff, that I still make mistakes, that I still flub up, that I still swing and miss. It's not always a home run. And it's a good reminder to you guys too that sometimes it just shakes out that way, right? So there are fewer eyes to see the mistakes if and when they happen. But here's the more important part to publish, even when you have a very small audience. Okay. First of all, are you guys seeing what I'm getting at here? I was on a call. So today I had a Zoom call set up Some of you know, I did a workshop in Phoenix a few weeks ago, and it was awesome. And I did actually two separate workshops in the same day with two different groups, and it was so cool. And the people that bought the early bird, you know, my $49 ticket as opposed to the $97 ticket, I gave them a couple bonuses where we were gonna do a group Zoom call where we could review some of the stuff that we talked about at the workshop, answer any questions, talk about any breakthroughs or cool stuff that they had happen since the workshop, and all that stuff. I sent out emails and reminders and all this kind of stuff. I even sent like one 5 minutes before we went live, so to speak, to remind people to come. And guess what? Hardly anybody came. To be totally honest, only 2 came out of the 25 people who were on that list, that early bird list. Only 2 came. Now, when I saw that, I'm sitting in my little Zoom room waiting for people to come in, and waiting, and then the first one came in a little bit late, which is fine because people are just going to come in when they can. And then we talked for like 15 minutes and still nobody else had come in. And so we started going through stuff and all these things, and then somebody else hopped in, and then the 3 of us had an amazing discussion for the next hour and a half or so. What's up, Shannon? Hey, Liesel. Oh. And it's so easy in those instances to be like, these people paid for this. Some of them didn't come to the workshop, weren't able to come. So I wanted this to be a place where I could teach them some of the concepts, as we reviewed, and all these kinds of stuff. But like nobody really showed up. But guess what? Those 2 people that were there, we had a great time talking. We connected. I got to know them a lot better than I did before, and I was still able to teach. But instead of just teaching something broad that would be like applicable to everybody, we talked specifically and answered questions that they had. So guess what? Those 2 people got some amazing coaching for free today, right? For free. Like they already paid for the ticket, but like they got some individual attention, right? On their stories, answering their questions. And everyone else missed out on it. I didn't record it because there were only 2 people, so I wasn't going to record that and send that out to everybody. That would just be weird, right? So this is the thing to remember and think of. So, oh man, I just forgot his name. Sean Stevenson. He's a speaker. He's just a cool guy. Has a great story. He talks about the Coast Guard and how they prioritize rescue when they go out to save people whose boats have tipped over or whatever out at sea. And they rescue the people swimming towards the boat. If somebody's swimming away from them or ignoring them or not coming towards them, they put them to the side and they prioritize and give the people who are actively trying to come to them and save them first. Some people perish. Some people, they're able to catch up to them and save them, right? But the power in that statement and the power of it that you need to apply and learn with your messaging and your publishing is that even if you have 2 people or 5 people or 50 people or 50,000 people, the people who show up want to be there. They've made it a priority. They've come from distance, or they've carved out a piece of their day in order to hang out with you, right? Or to learn from you. When that happens, instead of being like, oh, only 2 people showed up. Oh, only 10 people showed up. Instead be like, yes, 2 people showed up and they're going to get some amazing stuff from me today. Only 10 people showed up? That's incredible. Like, don't diminish it. Don't minimize it. You are there and doing something awesome for them, right? They came because they wanted it. And yes, you can work on your messaging and your retargeting and and your engagement and your nurturing and emails and all that kind of stuff to get more people. But don't obsess and don't give so much of your brain power to the people who didn't come and stress and worry and demean yourself or break yourself down because people didn't show up. Don't do it. Instead, give all that you have to those who are there, who are looking you in the eye, who are listening intently, who are buying your stuff. They get the best of you every time. When I do these lives, I'm giving the best of me to you guys. Am I charging you for it? No. Have I given you a crap ton of value? You guys should answer that in the questions. If I have, give me some of those hearts and thumbs up and stuff. What's up, Christopher? How the heck are you? Gina? Jan? Thanks for hopping on, you guys. If I have, blow me up with some emojis. Come on, you guys. So, again, I come and I do this every day, most every day. I take Sundays off and like every once in a while I'll have a day slip and stuff like that, right? But like, thank you, Christopher. You're the man. I come and I give because I know that there are a core of you. You know, Tanya is one. Val is one. Let's see who else was on earlier. Michael has been one. Josh has become one that show up every day on these lives. And sometimes they watch the whole time. Sometimes they watch a little bit and go watch the replay. It doesn't matter. They come every day and listen to every live or get little pieces of it. And then they go and put it to work. That is why I do this, because I want you guys to have these great tips and tools and tricks and everything, right? And when I'm here, I'm present. Have I ever phoned it in? From you guys, from your guys' perspective, have I phoned in any of these lives that I've done where I'm just like, just tell your story. I'm like over here, like watching on my screen and just dinking around and like, so go do this thing. I'm just gonna watch this video for a second. No, I am not doing that, right? I am engaged. I am looking you in the eyes. I look over at my computer screen to see comments and stuff like that, right? But like, I'm looking you in the eye. You're looking me in the eye, right? And it's just one of those things that when you are present, when you give of yourself and give to those who show up, and not obsess or feel bad about or any of that kind of stuff, the people who didn't come or didn't show up or didn't share or like or comment or all those kinds of things. That makes no difference. The difference is made when you give to the people who show up. When you give to the people who are swimming towards the boat, like that analogy of the Coast Guard, right? And the other thing I'm going to tell you is even though people show up or don't show up, you never know who really is watching. Like I have this thing up that says like, oh, Shay, what's up, Shay? And Rajiv just hopped on, right? I have that. But at the same time, I don't know who else is watching. I don't know who else is still watching any of that stuff. But guess what? You're going to do this, and you're going to do this over and over and over and over again. You're going to become... you're going to get into the repetition. You're going to get into the groove. You're going to find your voice. And you're going to start to have a lot of fun with it. I've developed this whole system for Facebook Lives and stuff that I'm getting ready to share with you guys, right? And you're going to put that to work, and it's going to be awesome. But guess what? There are still going to be people that do not comment. What's up, Shay? That do not comment, that do not engage, that do not blow. You can't see that they liked it or any of that kind of stuff. But guess what? They are watching. And you have no idea. And then you'll find yourself at a networking event or something down the line months from now, and you will be among peers and friends and people that you know, and then a complete stranger is going to come up to you and introduce themselves and thank you for the messages that you have put out there. And they'll tell you that they watch all of your lives and that they love it and they're so grateful and they've learned so much and all this kind of stuff. That has happened to me so many times. It's ridiculous how many times I've had those conversations with people at events. Funnel Hacking Live, it was one after the other, after the other, after the other, of people that have heard my story or followed me and watched stuff. And I had no idea. We weren't friends or anything like that. So even though you might only have a small following or a very small audience and only a couple people are showing up on the lives, don't worry about how you look or, making mistakes. Who cares? We're all going to make mistakes. People make mistakes all the time. Tony Robbins did a live in the Knowledge Business Blueprint group that I'm a member of. And he has a huge following, right? And he didn't flub up, but the tech messed up. And it just turned into a disaster. And it got cut off. And it was all glitchy and all that kind of stuff. It happens for anybody, whether you have 10,000 followers, 10 million followers, or 10 followers. Okay? You need to be giving and be present and giving your all and your heart and everything that you do in order to be good, become good. But also, if you really want people to be impacted, if you want people to buy your stuff, if you want people to subscribe, if you want people to become rabid fans that do and watch everything that you do, right? You have to do this. And there's no better way to start than at the bottom. It's so easy. It's intimidating, but I have been working on this whole system, right? And I'm putting it together right now to deliver to you guys, to be able to take your Facebook Lives, whether you've been doing them and having a lot of fun, to take them to the next level of awesomeness, or if you're just starting out, to build an incredible foundation that you will crush anyone else that's starting out. You'll be so far ahead of them and you'll look way better. Your status will be like, here's them, and you're gonna be here as a beginner, right? I forget I'm tall, so I gotta bring it down so you guys can see, right? That is the secret to all of this stuff. Is I can give you all the systems, all the processes, all the checklists before you go live of stuff to make sure you have in place. A checklist for when you are live to mark off and to make sure that you're keeping on track. I can give you all of that tactical stuff and all of the tools. But if you're not going to do it, you're not going to do it. And you're not going to have success, right? So that is why we go live. You need to get in that habit. You have to commit. And I know so many of you have committed to doing it. Like Val, she's been doing her podcast and recording it and broadcasting it as a live, and then putting it up as a podcast later. It's just one of those things. Aaron has been doing it. Christopher Voss he hasn't done any Facebook Lives, but he's been doing his Instagram stories and documenting his journey. However you use it, you have to start and you have to do it, and you have to get over yourself and get past the pride that we use to hold ourselves back. Like, oh, I don't want to waste my time if only 2 or 5 people are going to watch this. I'll wait until I have a bigger following and then start. Bull crap. Get over yourself. Okay? You need to do it now. And if you don't do it now, you're not going to do it when you have a list of 10,000, because you know why? You're never going to get a list of 10,000. You're not. You're just not going to do it. You might not grow super fast. Like my page, this page has like 720 something likes, right? On my Nick Fitzgerald page that this is broadcasting from. That has happened over the last few months. So it's grown all right, but it's all been organic and all that kind of stuff. But guess what? Those 700, not everyone watches all of these, but there are people that watch every single one. And it's incredible. And they share sometimes. And then they bring people in and they tag their friends in a comment, that kind of stuff, to be able to have other people see it. And then they come into my world, right? And as I've been going through this, right, especially the last 6 weeks as I had been talking about storytelling to sell more of your products and services, the story revenue connection, and showing you all the examples of how it works, right? Like that built up a following, that built me up some prestige, and I got some clients from it, right? Ding, no big deal. Like it's just one of those things. It just happens. And as Christopher says, amen, man. It's true. It's totally true, and you know it, and I know it. The difference is this isn't to be rude. I'm doing it and you guys aren't, right? There's something holding you back. And so this week I'm going to be trying to just punch down all of those objections that you guys have so that you can give yourself the permission. Like if you're looking for somebody to give you permission, here, the Friendly Giant is saying, hello, beloved viewer. I don't know, anyone who watches this, if you are not publishing and you're secretly waiting for somebody to give you permission, you have my full permission to go live on Facebook, on Instagram, go on Twitter and Periscope. I don't care how you do it, but you have permission to do it. And do it now. Not 10 weeks from now, not 10 days from now, now. You could wait 10 minutes if you needed to finish something, but do it now, right? I would not be offended if everyone that's on this right now dropped off and went and did a live and tagged me in it so I can go and watch it afterwards. I would not be offended because guess what? That means you're doing it, and that's awesome. And you'll see that it's simple, but yet it's complicated as well. That's one thing that I learned talking with Aaron last week when he hired me to come to his office, and we set it up and we got it all like primed for lives, and we talked about my system and all of that stuff, right? And it was game changing for him, and he went and he did it. But he was like, "You make it seem so easy, but it's not as easy as you make it sound." That's why I talked to him about the other stuff. That's where this whole thing is coming from, with teaching you guys how to take your Facebook Lives to the next level if you've been doing them already, or to start at a whole new level that nobody else that's starting is thinking of or doing, right? And so, it's just, I just love it, okay? So I want this week, the rest of this week, what questions, what concerns, what worries do you have when it comes to Facebook Live? I did a post in the Knowledge Business Blueprint group earlier today. Oh, I posted it yesterday, but it has to get approved, and it got approved this afternoon. But one of the ladies was saying, like, Facebook Live is for pretty people, and I don't think that I am. And, like, what are the things that are keeping you, honestly, like, down to the heart of it, what is keeping you from publishing and going live? I want to know, because I want to spend like Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and Saturday, just helping you break through those barriers emotionally and mentally. Okay? Because once you do, amazing things happen. I'm going to end with one quick story. Is it okay if I share a story with you about just the power of publishing and going live and getting your message out there? All right, cool. If you are, give me those emojis while I grab a drink. It's warm. We're in that like awkward stage when it's not quite hot enough for the air conditioner all the time, but not cool enough to just have the windows. Like, there's that uncomfortable portion of the day. So let me know if I can share you a story really quick. Okay. Thank you, Christopher, for those emojis. Appreciate it. So, I want to share this story, and I'm not going to mention names because I haven't been able to ask this person if I could for permission to use her name. So, it's a female. But so, last summer I was going live, right? It was at our old house. It was where I had the light shining behind me, and I was centered in the frame, and all those things. And I didn't have a topic. I didn't know what to talk about. I was like, oh, what should I do? What should I go live about? And I just finally just said, you know what? I know I need to go live, so I'm just going to go live, and whatever comes out, comes out. I'm just going to speak from the heart. Whatever comes into my mind, instant download, and out it goes, right? Scrub it for filtering and throw it out. So I did that. I went live, and the message was about how when things are not going your way, when you're struggling, when you're having a hard time, that when you're in those situations, to not give up. Don't give up, and just go one more step, one more rep, one more swing of the axe, whatever it is, just to do one more, right? And eventually, by continuing to do one more, you will have the breakthrough, and you will reach reach the thing, right? And so, hey Kelly, thanks for hopping on. And so I did that, and it was normal. Like, it wasn't like something during the live that everyone was freaking out about. I got my usual likes and comments and all that kind of stuff. It wasn't until a half an hour after that live was finished, and there weren't tons of people on it again. Small. This is still in last summer when I was only getting, like 100 or 200 views total on any of my videos. And about a half an hour afterwards, I get a message in Messenger from this young lady. We used to live in the same neighborhood, not really close, but like, the same area. And we knew each other through church and things like that. But we were friends on social media, but we'd never ever commented or messaged or had contact at all. It was just we were friends. And we had moved from that area. It had been almost 5 years. And, so it wasn't like we saw each other very much and I knew what was going on. But she thanked me for going live and for my message that day. And it turns out she was recently married. Her husband turned out to not be the man that she thought he was when they got married. And so she was in the process of getting divorced from him, but she was pregnant with their first child. And it was a rough pregnancy. She had medical issues and she was in and out of the hospital, and some of her family didn't believe her and thought that she was faking, and all sorts of stuff like that. And she was just stressed out and feeling alone and all those things. And that she was actually contemplating taking her life at that time to just put an end to the misery and the pain and everything that was going on in her life. Now that hit me like a ton of bricks, as you could imagine. And then she followed that with, it was your message today helped me realize that I can just go one more day, that I can go another day, that I can keep going just one step at a time. And before I know it, the baby will be here. This nightmare will be over. I'll be feeling much better. My baby will be happy and healthy and we'll be together. And it was my message that day that saved her life. And that's an extreme example. And I don't say that to be like, oh, look how amazing I am. No. The point of it is, even when I didn't know what I wanted to talk about or needed to talk about, I still did it because I knew, one, I would benefit from getting the reps in and getting the practice, but that there might be somebody who could benefit from my message. And because I followed it and I didn't say, well, I don't have a big following. I don't have tons of people following me or watching, so nobody's going to miss this. If I would have, can you imagine what the possible outcome could have been had I not followed that and done it? That's crazy. It's scary to think what could happen when you don't. When you're selfish and say, oh, I don't have a big audience. I'm not going to do it. It's not worth my time. No. There's somebody who is going to see it, and it's going to impact their life or change their business or save a relationship or whatever it might be. Mine is a very extreme example, right, of this. And because I took action and I did it, and I didn't let my pride talk myself out of doing it, I didn't let my mind talk my heart out of doing something. It's one of my favorite things to tell people. Somebody's life was saved. 2 lives were saved. Okay? Did she become a client? No. Did I make any money off of that? No. Does the value and the worth of a soul have much more money or much more value than anything money could buy? Absolutely. So yes, you need to be intentional in your messaging. Yes, you need to structure your stories and your messaging to sell more of your stuff. Yes, you need to be doing Facebook Lives every day in order to get that message dialed in, build your audience, and have impact and influence. Yes, you need to be doing all those things. But sometimes there are times when you just need to follow your heart and say the things that you need to say. Okay? Aaron says, change the world, serve others, and watch what happens. Great message, man. Exactly. When you serve and do things for others, good things happen. Right? This whole thing that I'm developing right now is the result of serving and helping and doing these lives over the last 6 weeks. It's going to serve and help and benefit so many other people and my family, because they're going to benefit because people are going to buy it. 30 people are going to buy it immediately. Like by the end of this week, I'm going to have 30 sales. Are you going to be one of them? Right? But don't tell yourself the lie that you don't have a big enough audience to start publishing. If you tell yourself that lie, you'll never publish. Okay? So, with that said, I want to... Ryan says action is always the antidote. Exactly. And impact is all that counts. Amen, brother. So, with that said, those of you who are watching, those of you who have been watching, in the comments, tell me all of the reasons why you're afraid or you're scared or you don't publish or do Facebook Lives at all. I have been developing this program, and it's awesome. I just want to make sure that I really serve everyone that I possibly can. So, I'm just going to drop this right here, right now. If you are ready to learn my system to make your Facebook Lives incredible, and you want to go either take your game to the next level with your Facebook Lives, or if you want to start on a level way higher than anyone else that's starting, go to this link that I just dropped and get your seat for this course. It's all about Facebook Lives. You can see all the cool stuff that's going into it. There's a lot more that I couldn't fit on that slide. And that's just like an order page, okay? But go and do it, right? And this week, I hope by the end of this week that everyone who watches these goes and buys it. And on July 1st, we are all ready to rock and roll and take your Facebook Lives to a whole new level. Talk to my buddy Aaron Stewart. Aaron, I spent last week a half of a day with him going through all of this stuff. And he paid me to do it. I'm not going to say that it was just out of the kindness of my heart, right? He asked me to come and do it. You can ask him if it was helpful. It absolutely was. This is going to be even more in depth. Aaron's going to be involved in it. He's going to be getting it for being an awesome stud and all that kind of stuff, right? So, if you're ready, go and do this now and reserve your seat. I'm wanting 30 by the end, or by the time we launch. 30 by the end of this week. So any of your entrepreneurial friends, any of your family members who publish and things like that, or are worried about it, share it with them, bring a buddy in, and have an amazing time and level up. If you want to be able to also learn how to have your Facebook Lives have these cool little graphics, or the swirly awesome intro, or when I had videos and we watched them together and it had good audio and good quality, I will teach you that in there as well. But it's all about getting you guys to do it and giving you the tools and the resources to overcome those obstacles that you face and to start impacting and changing lives and growing your business and making more money as well. That is what this is all designed for. So, with that said, I love you all. Thank you all for your support, for following along, for just being incredible human beings. We will see you tomorrow as I drop those concerns. Send them to me in a message if you feel embarrassed to put them on a public forum or in the comments. But I will use this whole week to go through all of those objections and do it as long as I need to in order to help you understand that you need to be going live every day, or at least 5 to 6 days a week. If you take a day off like I do, like I take Sundays off, right? But the thing that's great is if you miss a day, you're not derailed. You have a system in place that makes it comfortable, that gets you in a groove, that makes it super fun. And yeah. So I'm going to have Aaron, just got off a live using Nick's stuff 10 minutes ago. I love going live now. The engagement is amazing. You guys, Lance has been doing these lives as well. He's been doing them on his phone and stuff. And the engagement and the things that are happening for him is incredible. I want you guys to have the same growth and then some. Okay? So with that said, have an amazing rest of your day and we'll catch you tomorrow.